Well, it was a great win yesterday to get our first Big Ten win and have a great crowd that culminated 2 days of activities that we were able to do with young girls and young boys with a clinic on Saturday, and then to have the National Girls and Women in Sports Day celebration yesterday starting at 2 o'clock to expose the youth to a lot of different sports, and then have them at the game. It was a great atmosphere. We got off to a great start yesterday, especially defensively, holding Northwestern to 7 points in the first quarter. And again, in a game that goes back and forth to be up 9 at halftime, and then Northwestern did what every Big Ten team does. They're going to continue to fight and get the game tied and even take the lead in the fourth. And it was great to see us finish, after the Penn State game and tie game in the fourth quarter, and to have the lead late in the Northwestern game at their place. Just to be able to put the ending together, to give our kids confidence, to see, have trust, and it was an attacking mentality. When they took the lead at 46-45, to come right back down and get a basket at the rim, get a stop, get another basket in the paint. To continue to build off of yesterday. So we're halfway through the Big Ten slate. We go back on the road and start with a very, very good Indiana team. I know overall, their record in the conference isn't great, but they come off winning at Michigan State. They have one of the best players in the league in Tyra Buss, and another all-Big Ten player in Amanda Cahill, as well as two really talented freshmen who start for them. So we have to be able to take the confidence of finishing off a game tomorrow and understand how it can't be for 25 or 30 minutes. We've got to be able to put all four quarters together as we head in this stretch on the road this week against Indiana and Illinois. Dennis. Yeah, they need to take shots. They need to be threats, and people are playing off of them. Nya's more of a penetrator, but both of them have to be threats when they catch the ball, because if they're not a threat, they're not going to be able to create shots for other people on our team as well. And we've had that discussion. They can't have games. I think Kendra took 2 shots yesterday. They don't need to take 15, but they need to on the catch be ready. To make sure that people aren't loading up on the other 4 players on the floor. And, with Nyla, yeah, I'm ecstatic that it went in, but she took it, without a hesitation. And that's really important, because now, that's a step or two further out. The next time there's a closeout on the wing on her, and now that makes the passing angle better. It makes her have an opportunity to get downhill with the basketball. And the same thing with Kendra. She needs to take shots that are within her skill set. She's not going to be somebody that's going to get into a bunch of 1 and 2 dribble pull-ups, but she's got to be a threat at the three-point line. She has to be ready. That presented itself at the end of the shot clock. We were joking it was a pretty similar shot that was kind of the game clincher against Illinois last year. But they have to be. For them to be better at distributing the basketball, they've got to be threats to shoot it on the catch to set that up.
When you start 0-7, how much of a relief is there, did you feel, on your team to get a win?
Well, I think trying to put things together to have, and so you're not just building off of the second half of Minnesota was so much better than the first, or, put ourselves in a position to win against Penn State and against Northwestern. I think it gives some credibility to what we're doing every single day, trying to put them in that position. And, trying to compare where we were at this point last year from a competitive standpoint. Absolutely. At the end of the game, when you have competitive kids, they want to win. And to be able to have that come to fruition is huge, because, I think especially the way that it happened yesterday, to be able to close a team out from the defensive end, you don't have to be perfect. We understand our makeup. We're not a team that's going to score in the high 70s and 80s right now the way we're built. So we've got to be able to put stops together. We've got to be efficient offensively. We've got to take good care of the basketball. And to grind a game out like that shows that's what we've got to be willing to do. And I think it's important to understand the pride you have to have at winning at home too. And, I think when we started the year out 5-1 at home and you had that confidence and, when we lost the Milwaukee game and then you lose the first couple, you could see like, hey, when we go out there, this is still our home court. We're on this floor more than anybody else. You've got to be able to take the energy from the fans. So, without question, we go in every game with a plan that we feel like will put us in the best position to succeed. It gives it credibility when you see that be able to play out, even if it's not perfect, and get a win in the end.
Can they sense, Jonathan, too, that, if we work harder than another team that may be more talented than us, we can beat that team?
Well, absolutely, and I think you look around the league, and that's the way the league is this year. There's, whether you want to call them upsets or not, people that are doing the little things, a team on paper that looks like maybe they don't have the same amount of talent, and this is home or away, and I think that's a good sign for our league from a competitive balance standpoint. When unranked teams are beating ranked teams, and sometimes on the road, sometimes at home. But it goes back to what we preach every day is the controllables. And I think effort is a controllable, and playing together is a controllable, and getting through the ups and downs of a game, that doesn't necessarily hinge on your talent of just making shots. And I think, in the first game at Northwestern, Suzanne Gilreath was the hot hand and had 5 threes. Yesterday it didn't fall the same way. She was 1 for 5, but right there, to have her in the game is that threat. Is we have the 5 out there that we feel like are putting the best effort forth and put us in that position. So I think besides just looking at our own team, being able to show them around the league how that's coming to fruition as well.
You've had a good chunk of a season now to observe Kelly Carless in practice. What does she bring to you now, and what do you see her being able to contribute next year when she's able to play?
I think the growth of watching her when she's simulating the opponent has gone from, okay, this is what the person that I'm supposed to be, that I'm simulating does, to talking to our team. And again, she's somebody that's going to be able to, I think, make open shots from deep. But watching her growth from a leadership standpoint of when early in the season she'd make a shot and she'd go back down and we'd play against her. Now when she makes a shot, she's telling her teammate, like, you're not close enough. And, hey, this is what's going to happen when we play on Wednesday or on Thursday or on Sunday. And so I think that's a confidence I've seen growing in her. Renee has done a great job in the strength, in strength and conditioning. She's put on extra strength. I think she sees the level of physicality in the Big Ten, even though she's not out there. She sees the banging. She sees with her teammates of how you have to play through that contact. And but I'm really pleased because she's always asking to do an extra workout. She does extra workouts on game days, even after the hour shoot around. And I think she'll be able to give us more perimeter scoring and then just length defensively. She's a long athletic wing. She has to get better in that area. I think it helps her every day going, against Kayla or having to guard maybe somebody's quicker if she gets switched on to Nia Beverly. But I think she's taken, I've watched kids sit out and transfer situations, and it's hard, but you challenge them to treat every practice. That's their game day. And they've got to try to take whatever role they're given and maximize that. But I like how she's been able to talk to our players since we've gotten into Big Ten play about it's not just run down the other floor and play her game. She's trying to help them be better in a scout mode.
What do you need to do defensively to stop Indiana this time as opposed to when you last met them?
Yeah, they are, they're playing with a lot of confidence. And it starts with Tyra Buss. And she does at her size. She's so multifaceted. She's playing the point. She's scoring the basketball. She's her, kind of mentoring some freshmen that have had some inconsistencies but are very, very talented, as well as Amanda Cahill in that role. But we have to do a good job of not letting Tyra Buss get to the free throw line. We can't let her get open looks on the three-point line. And again, we can't sell out. I think she does a good job with her experience. She's grown as a point guard. She's always been a great scorer for them. But this year, with some of the losses they've had, from the kids who have graduated, has had to become even more proficient in being able to facilitate for the younger kids on their team. So it starts with her, and that's not taking anything away from any of the other kids on their team. But definitely, I think Indiana, with the senior leader, we've got to do a good job of locating and not let her get into their offensive rhythm. The other day against Michigan State, they had 33 points in the first quarter. I think they made 10 or 11 shots in a row. And again, we've got to be able to make them grind things out more, especially at home, so they don't get that momentum.